The newest chapter in Dead by Daylight is finally upon us, and with it comes tons of new Easter egg secrets and things you didn't know. In this video, we're going to be covering some of the most interesting things and interesting factors of the new chapter. Starting off with the survivor, Sable Ward. In case you haven't brushed up on your lore, it actually turns out that she knows another survivor in the fog, Mikaela. In fact, they were friends since they were in the 3rd grade. Mikaela was even responsible for giving Sable a job at the Moonstone Cafe, and if you remember, this is also where Mikaela worked herself, selling coffee. If you dive deeper into the lore, there was a Moonstone annual Halloween event. This is where Sable decided to tell the story of the unknown. While she was telling the story, however, a strange black fog had taken Mikaela during her performance, and Sable felt the icy hand of guilt grab her by the back of the neck. She was convinced that she had somehow sent Mikaela to her doom. But then she realized that Mikaela's story wasn't necessarily about the unknown. It was about something else, another dimension, a dimension filled with terrifying creatures, sadistic killers, and endless horror. With the realization, Sable began to investigate other disappearances that happened in Greenville, connecting all of the dots to a movie theater. On her quest to find her only friend, she hitched a ride to the movie theater itself, and eventually in this movie theater, she found a long spiraling staircase descending into the darkness, and it also had the same cold black fog that had taken Mikaela. She considered running back up, but in an ironic twist, she wanted to see the terrifying creatures and the sadistic killers and the endless horror, so she quickly decided to jump on in and not let her best friend have all of the fun. Speaking about the movie theater, recently Dead by Daylight released some new cosmetics. And a week ago, we may have not thought about anything, but looking at it now, it is clearly an Easter egg to this chapter. They released the Theater Collection for Dwight and guess who? Mikaela. Now this collection is actually called the Popcorn Classic Collection, and it is pretty damn cool. The description for Mikaela says she met her best friend, aka we know who that is now, at the cinema for Manatee Thursday and an afternoon of classic horror movies. It all lines up. We originally referred to this as a completely different survivor, and here we are with the full story, which is a nice cool Easter egg. Last week we received some teasers for the new chapter. In one of these, we've seen a messenger group called Movie Crew with the popcorn emoji, as well as the popcorn as the profile picture. This one slipped under everybody's nose. We definitely didn't expect a movie theater map, but it was right there in front of us the whole time. We're more focused on exactly what the camera roll was showing, but the entire time, this was alluding and hinting towards the movie theater being the new map or the Greenville Theater. Again, this also cleverly ties into the cosmetics, and everything is wrapped up like a bow looking at it in hindsight. Staying on the topic of the movie theater, there's actually a lot of movies that are shown as artwork for what's coming to play. And all of these have a telling story that we might correlate to future chapters as well as current chapters that we have. Whales, in my opinion, refers to Jaw, which is just super iconic as a classic horror movie. His body definitely has to be a reference to the spirit. We can just see a bunch of severed limbs, which is very similar to what we've seen with the spirit. Fang can definitely be correlated to the newest chapter that we just received with all of the teeth that we've seen, they've been talking about in all the teasers, and the killer itself. Dead for Ice Cream might have some correlations with the clowns. I couldn't really make too much out of this one. The next one almost looks like a hillbilly, but we do see a wrench and a severed head, but initially when I saw this, it kind of looked like the hillbilly itself. You might even correlate this one to the trapper. The sinking ones definitely could be a reference to the dredge with the cosmetic with all of the different hands that are going on. Rotten woods could refer to shelter woods or the forest for the huntress, so this one is also quite nice. The blasted corpse, initially when I saw this, it looked exactly like the hag, so I'm going to correlate that with that. The fake hand and caged lips, I couldn't necessarily identify where these two belong. Four Fingers of Fear kind of reminds me of the clown as well. and Cage lips. Maybe it can be a Nicolas Cage reference, but I couldn't really tell you. And the final one that we have is It's Behind You. And if you look at that vampire, it looks a little bit similar to Nicolas Cage as well. Potentially major spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to have any spoilers on potentially what the new chapter could be, click off or skip right now. Talking about this vampire that we've seen in one of these movie images, it seems that this may correlate to a future chapter where the vampire is going to be coming in as a killer. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because there were some potential leaks once upon a time, basically calling everything that we've received in the past few months. Basically saying Chucky was coming to the game, Alan Wake, Saga Anderson, and a goth survivor with a killer that looks like it has 3 heads, which is rumored to be a cosmetic. If these leaks are true, this could definitely be an Easter egg that leads to the new killer coming into the game, which would be a vampire, specifically Dracula from Castlevania. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but if that is an Easter egg, you've seen it here first. One last movie poster I want to focus on is Murder Mill. This is a direct reference to Dead by Daylight's, or Behavior's I should say, newest game, the casting of Frank Stone. You can see this exact image in some of their promotions, and this one just screams to me a direct correlation. If you're walking on the map and you take a look at the side of the movie theater, you can actually see an advertisement for the Moonstone Cafe. Again, this is where Sable and Mikaela worked, which is a direct reference that these two universes are the same, if we couldn't tell already, but it's pretty cool to essentially see this happening. To my knowledge, this is the first time Dead by Daylight has done something like this, and with something as iconic as a Moonstone Cafe being a predominant thing that is recurring in both of these lore stories, it's really nice and a cool little Easter egg if you can catch on to it. On the new map, if you head over to the giant statue in the middle, you can actually see 2 different signatures that are engraved or marked upon this statue at its base. And guess who? None other than Mikaela and Sable. A nice little Easter egg if you can catch it. It's a pretty fun one for those that do pay attention to all the small details, but yeah, a nice little Easter egg to essentially push even more that Mikaela was in this realm and in this part, bonding that collection with these 2 survivors even more. If you're on the new map and you head over to the arcade, this one's quite small, but if you drop the pallet, you can actually hear all of the different arcade machines going off at the same time. Someone actually got a power struggle save on me in here, so here's that clip, and you can actually hear it in the background as well. Yeah, hey, wait, that's just a free hit. Ow! In case you haven't realized already, the new survivor Sable has her own unique voice lines. Unfortunately, there isn't any voice lines when she sees Mikaela in the lobby, which I'm a bit disappointed with, but she still has some cool ones nonetheless. 3 of them that stand out to me are all actually Easter eggs directly correlating to the Wizard of Oz. This is pretty cool because she is a movie buff after all, a little bit out of her range since she really likes the dark and twisted, but still a classic. Take a listen to these voice lines.
This ain't Kansas, is it? I feel like Dorothy. Except no dog and no flying house. Where's Toto?
The killer has some unique voice lines as well, and upon listening to it, you might think it's a bunch of gibberish. If you put your subtitles on, you'll actually know exactly what it is saying. And we were actually able to decode this. It sounds that the unknown has 2 different voices. These are stacked on top of each other, and that's why you hear that little bit of a distorted audio. Here are the voice lines in the background. You'll pretty much hear all of them. These are essentially what are stacked on top of each other. They're very interesting.
Hello? Psst, over here.
Hold me over here, please.
Why so nervous tonight? Life is what we make it. I will not be denied my happiness. I lived in dungeons long forgotten.
Hello? Psst, over here. Help me over here, please. Why so nervous tonight? Life is what we make it. I will not be denied my happiness. I lived in dungeons long forgotten.
Well, there you go. Those are some of the fun, cool, and unique Easter eggs that were featured in this chapter. If you guys have found any yourself, I would love to hear them down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this chapter as well. And don't forget, right now we are live on Twitch. Head on over to twitch.tv/theking. I really appreciate all of the love and support on all the recent videos, so thank you guys so much again for all of that. And that's gonna do it for me. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.